This is a very quick tutorial on how to track motion in After Effects CS6. Tracking motion is kind of useful because you sometimes want to attach other objects to the motion or make transformations in an area that's moving. So here's a little bit of footage, very simple sort of talking head piece of footage where the subject moves a little bit and it gives us enough motion to track. Now, to track motion you need an invisible layer, a layer with nothing on it, and that layer is called a null object layer. So here we go. I shall make that layer. There it is. It's called Null 3 here. Yours is probably going to be called Null 1, but I've been playing around with this, so mine's called Null 3. It's just that little square shows you that it exists. Now, forget Null 3 or Null 1 for a moment. Go back onto the actual footage and right click it and find the track motion command, and you'll see that this gives you a thing called a track point. You can have more than one track point, but for the purposes of this, one is enough. Now I'm going to select my hand tool here to move this down. It's actually zoomed in. The footage is that big, but it's kind of handy to zoom in a little bit so that I can take more care over what I'm tracking. Go back to the selection tool. Now pick up the track point, and as you can see, as I move it, it's sort of enlarging what's below it to help you see what you need to see. So I think I'll track this glasses frame because it's kind of a nice contrasty thing between the dark glasses frame and the lighter background. Now, having selected the track motion, you should have got this panel up here, the tracker panel. If you haven't, you can go and select it in the window there, but it should come up automatically. Now this has got quite a lot going on in it. You can track position, rotation and scale. So if the subject moves back away, an object could reduce in size. If the subject turns their head, an object could rotate. To keep it simple for now, I'll just use position. Now, you track the motion onto another layer, so you need to make sure that your target layer is the null that you've created, Null 3 here. Yours, as I say, will probably be Null 1. And then you can track, you have to analyse by clicking one of these. If your timeline marker is up there, you can analyse backwards and forwards, but if your timeline marker is at the beginning of the clip, just click Analyse Forwards, and that will move slowly through, and you can see the tracker moving to follow the object that it's tracking quite well, really. Could be better, but it's pretty good. And when that's finished, we will have a little path. There it is, that blue stuff is the path. If I scrub backwards and forwards, you'll see it moving slowly along that path. Now I need to apply that then, so I'm going to click Apply, make sure that my target is correct, the null layer. Click Apply, and I want to apply X and Y dimensions, not just X and not just Y, both of them. So I click OK, and now the null is up there, and you can see as we scrub forward, the null layer is moving in time with those glasses. You can see all these keyframes that have been created. I'll just shut that down because it's a bit scary, all those keyframes. The next thing to do is to make something that we want to actually track that motion. So I'm going to put a new layer on. I'll go New Solid. That's just going to be a completely cyan coloured layer on the top, Deep Cyan Solid it's called. I'll mask it off. You can use any of these tools to mask. Let's make it a star. So make a little star. There we go. And I need to move that star onto where I want to track. So I might as well, oops, I'm not moving the star, I'm just moving one of the path points there, which is not a good idea. Let me move the star itself, hang on. I'm still moving the path point. That should work now. Oops, no, hang on. Classic situation here, we're not quite sure why I'm not moving the whole thing. Let's see, I could of course move it by going P down here, clicking P for position, and I can move it like that, which might actually be kind of slightly easier in this case. So I'll put that on the edge of his on the edge of his glasses. Now, at the moment, that's just staying still as he moves. Okay, so what I've got to do is I've got to somehow connect the null layer to that. And the way you do that is by using this parenting thing. And I can do it in two ways. I can either select the parent layer as null3 like that, okay, or I can use this thing called a pick whip, and I can just point it to null3. Either way, the same result happens. And now, when we play this back, you'll see that the star is moving as the subject moves. Here we go. And that is basically how you track motion.